Glasgow in the 80s was in the grip of deindustrialisation. So Glasgow previously had been the kind of industrial juggernaut of the United Kingdom. Our shipyards, our forges had shipped products and things of that nature all around the world. So in Glasgow, it was kind of understood that young people of a certain age, when they left school, they could go straight into a job working on the Clyde. And then these industries over the course of a couple of decades were wound down or closed entirely. And so this led to vast swathes of the population effectively becoming kind of idle economically. So massive rise in people being dependent on benefits, massive rise in poverty, and a general kind of malaise setting in where people begin to feel sceptical of authority. They begin to live in conditions of chronic stress due to the various forms of insecurity. Violence rises, family dysfunction rises, and then heroin hits. So Glasgow becomes the kind of epicentre of a heroin epidemic in the early 90s. Ultimately, that was when I would have been about 5 or 6. So I was feeling the effects of that at home because my mother was an alcoholic and a drug user. My mother's name was Sandra. She grew up in Castlemilk, which was one of 4 housing schemes that were created in the late 50s. And they were created with a kind of utopian idealism. This was the post-war consensus when the main political parties all agreed that despite their differences, we had to commit to building social housing, we had to commit to full employment, we had to use the state to try and lift people up out of poverty. And these housing estates or schemes, they were very well equipped in the beginning. So this would have been the first time that people had a home with multiple rooms, a toilet, a bath, things of that nature that we take for granted now. But over the course of deindustrialisation, which occurred from the kind of 60s on to the 90s gradually, then you had these vast populations with increasingly less opportunity.